know love makes the world go round, and love makes the seesaws go up and down, and it makes the trees grow tall. But the most important thing of all that makes a boy and girl say they feel so good now. Feel so good. Without love, flowers wouldn't grow in spring, and without spring, honey, the birdies just wouldn't sing. Well, everybody needs love, and to watch the twinkling stars above, it makes a boy and girl talk about feel good. Feel so good. Feel so fine now. Feel so fine. Love, love can make you cry now. There goes for Billy, Myrna, Bobby, Joey, honey, even you and I. Oh, I can prove to you that these facts of love are so true. They'll make a boy and girl every time, like I said now, feel good. Feel so good. Love, love can make you cry now.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is a song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words.
At this point, I'm going to ask the parents of the bride and groom to come forward, lighting 2 candles. It is given that as man and woman grow together in love and trust, they shall be united with one another in heart, body and mind. The gift of marriage brings husband and wife together. It is given as the foundation of family life, in which children are born and nurtured, companionship and comfort, and grow to maturity in love.
My gift is my song, and this one's for you.
Robert, will you take Samantha to be your wife? Will you love her, comfort her and protect her, and forsaking all others be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Samantha, will you take Robert to be your husband? Will you love him, comfort him, honour and protect him, and forsaking all others be faithful to him as long as you both shall live? And will you, the families and friends of Robert and Samantha, support and uphold them in their marriage now and in the years to come? So Robert and Sam, if you'd like to be seated for the moment, we're going to have a series of readings and thoughts to be shared for Robert and Sam.
This is the first day of my life. Swear I was born right in the doorway. I went out in the rain, suddenly everything changed. They're spreading blankets on the beach. Yours is the first face that I saw. I think I was blind before I met you. And I don't know where I am, I don't know where I've been, but I know where I want to go. And so I thought I'd let you know. Yeah, these things take forever, I especially am slow. But I realized that I need you, and I wondered if I could come home. Remember the time you drove all night just to meet me?
I now invite you to join hands and make your vows in the presence of God and this congregation. I, Robert Andrew,
I, Robert Andrew,
take you, Samantha Louise,
take you, Samantha Louise,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part.
till death us do part.
I, Samantha Louise,
I, Samantha Louise,
take you, Robert Andrew,
take you, Robert Andrew,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part.
till death us do part.
Heavenly Father, by your blessing, let these rings be to Robert and Samantha a symbol of unending love and faithfulness, to remind them of the vow and the covenant which they have made this day, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Samantha, I give you this ring
Samantha, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body I honour you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
That's you, Owen. Sit down there. Robert, I give you this ring
Robert, I give you this ring
as a sign of our
as
marriage.
a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honour you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share.
So before this congregation, Robert and Samantha have given their consent and made their marriage vows to therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. And I never thought I'd feel this way, the way I feel about you. As soon as I wake up, every night, every day, and the words it's you I need to take the blues away. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less, love is the rest. How can it be that we can say so much without words? as I wake up, every night, every day. I know that it's you I need to take the blues away. It must be love, love, love. 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 It must be love, love, love.
Of solitude, red wine, just a glass or two. Give me something fun to do. There's something in the water, something in the water. There's something in the water that makes me love you like I do. There's something in the water, something in the water. There's something in the water that makes me love you like I do.
We're not on. We're not on. We're not on. Give away.
Don't you worry there, my honey. We might not have any money, but we've got our love to pay the bills. Maybe I think you're cute and funny. Maybe I wanna do what bunnies do with you, if you know what I mean. Oh, let's get rich and buy our parents' homes in the south of France. Let's get rich and give everybody nice sweaters and teach them how to dance. Let's get rich and build a house on a mountain, making everybody look like ants. From way up there, you and I, you and I.
Well, you might be a bit confused,
And you might be a little little bit bruised.
But baby, how we spoon like no one else. So I will help you read those books if you will soothe my worried looks, and we will put the lonesome on the shelf.
Sorry, I just wanted an update from the best man for Rob. So how are you feeling? Are you getting nervous?
All in hand, yeah?
Yeah. You're too laid back for school.
Pretend to be nervous. Can you like with feeling?
I'm really nervous.
Let's get rich and give everybody nice sweaters and teach them how to dance. Let's get rich and build a house on a mountain, making everybody look like ants. From way up there, you and I, you and I.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Amanda, David, Judith and myself, I just happen to be the one who is the proudest father of the bride. Hang on! We would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all here on this very special day. It's just so wonderful to see you all. It really is. So, this is, you might guess already, this is the first time I've ever done this, so I asked for some advice. I was told that a good wedding speech should only last for the same time it takes me to make love. So, thank you very much and good night! I knew this was going to be a very emotional day for me. This morning when I walked in, I noticed that the wedding cake was even in tears. Are they all under their mess? Sorry. The first thing I want to say is just how beautiful and stunning Samantha looks today. What a lucky father I am, and Rob, what a lucky groom you are. We would like to thank you all for coming here today and making this day so special. You are all special to Rob and Samantha, but sadly there are several special people who can't be here today. Samantha's grandpa Frank, and Granny Barbara, and Rob's granddad George. They watch you both grow up and would have loved to be here today to share in your happiness. They would be very proud of you both, as we are. So I just want to do a toast to absent friends and family.
Absent friends and family.
With this person, we wouldn't be here today. So there's a few people that I'm going to mention now, the special people. So the first one is Sophie. Where is Sophie? There she is. Sophie was the person responsible for getting Sam and Rob together, I understand. And for that reason, Sophie, I have a little gift for you. An envelope here. That's got the invoices in. Quite nice, isn't it? Next we've got Hazel and Nick. Yeah, where are they? There they are. My lovely big sis. Not seen her for nearly 10 years. They've flown in from Australia just to see me. Next, we've got Samantha's lovely friend, Ross. Oh. She and Samantha went to the same preschool nursery in sunny Morecambe. Who would have thought that 25 years later, here we are together. Amazing, really. I'd like to think of Rose as my third daughter, because we've got on so well over the years. The only problem, Rose, I can't afford to pay for your wedding as well. The money's gone. We have also the lovely Sarah Atkinson. She flew out to New Zealand when Rob and Samantha went there, and the idea was that she would go to New Zealand and stay there and go on to Australia. But now she's come back all the way to England to be Samantha's bridesmaid. We've also got our very dear friends Cornelius and Helena, and this is Corneliuson. What a wonderful name that is. They're flowering from Holland. We first met them in Cos many years ago. We became friends, and now we are friends. So thank you for coming. Wonderful. Take a news though. Yeah. By the way, guys, it's not water. It is ouzo that's in the bottle. You know, there's one thing about today that I find really wonderful. And it's how Rob and Samantha kept the same group of friends for all these years. And it's just so nice to see you all together. And just the way that you all get on, I just think it's wonderful. So, bless you all. All the friends. Big cheer for the friends. Come on. So, Samantha and Rob, it all started on Boxing Day 2008. Thanks to Sir. Now, I seem to recall the following day, this is when Samantha finally appeared from her slumber. I asked her where she had been the previous night and if she'd had a good time. With a smile on her face, oh, it could have been a touch of wind, not sure which. She said something about Batman and Robin and suburbia. Oh, I think that's what she said. So, well, I presume it was some fancy dress party that she'd been to. Either that or she was talking in riddles. Or she was having a joke. Batman and Robin. Of course, it turned out to be somebody called Robert, and he was a Batman. Just getting the ears stringed, actually. I think it's fair to say that was a meeting that changed their lives, and they have been batted about each other ever since. Another momentous day arrived on the 12th of September 2010. The day Rob and Samantha left England for the distant shores of New Zealand. What a wonderful adventure and experience that turned out to be. This was the time they cemented their relationship and realised they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. It was a great foundation on which to build their relationship. To be together virtually 24/7 for 18 months on the other side of the world, touring around in a camper van, hiking, camping, whale watching, swimming with dolphins, an earthquake. Actually you did some work, didn't you, as well? So. They stood the test and their relationship and love for each other became even stronger. It says a lot about you, but thankfully they came back. Or else we would have been upset. Samantha was transformed from the girl who loved to shop for high heels to shopping at Great Outdoors for hiking boots and wellies. Rob, you changed that girl. I did think they would come back from New Zealand as an engaged couple. Truly I did. I kept saying that they'd come back engaged. But Rob, the man he is, did the honourable thing and asked me if he could marry Samantha. Of course, it was a very easy decision. After checking his bank balance, of course. It didn't look too bad. Amanda and I could not be happier than to have Rob as their son-in-law. I think we knew very early on that Rob and Samantha were so good for each other, and that Boxing Day meeting in 2008 changed their lives forever. I would like to say a big thank you to David, Judith and their lovely family. They have taken Samantha to your heart and helped in so many ways. So, thank you. A wonderful family. I've been trying to think of some words of wisdom I could give you to help you in your married life. This is good. Actually, I don't need to say anything. Just look around. You have wonderful grandparents, parents, family and friends. What more do you need? Just a quick mention about family. We've got a young girl here, Heidi, who's actually going to America because she's a really good swimmer. So, where are you, Heidi? So, go on, lass, you can do it. Well done. There's one thing now I've actually got. It's unusual, is this? But we don't usually give presents out. It's a present for Rob. Now,
Matching socks, yeah.
matching socks. Rob, what socks have you got today?
I've got some wonderful socks from Jane and Junior, matching.
No!
Oh, sorry, it was from Adele.
What's that?
And I'm the same room, very nice.
Yeah, very good. Matching.
I know, I was
Right.
forced to wear them.
Come on, Rob, get this present up because we're all dying away.
Yeah, let's
Some people, probably ladies, will actually get this, but I know. whoever went on, I better not say to, whoever went on the hen night will remember that Samantha had what they call the naked waiter. And I think it was. So, I just thought, Rob, later on when you're serving a few drinks, or, just feel free. I'm sure the ladies will enjoy it immensely. Please join me in a toast to Robert and Samantha. Okay, can we stand up? Let's have a stand up. So I will say, be young, be foolish, be happy, be in love.
It now comes my time. I don't really have as many one-liners, but then I haven't had as many years to quite build up the repertoire. Now, I know this bit. I'd like to thank you all for coming. It's fair to say we didn't choose the most convenient location, but somebody said, make sure you do what's right for yourselves, and I thought it'll be a little test, and you've all passed. Everybody's made it up, and I really appreciate that. Sincerely though, it's a place that I've always had a lot of fondness for, especially because you can surf in the morning and then wedding in the afternoon. But Sam, being such a thoughtful bride, thought she'd come and check out wedding venues in the area because she knew it would make me happy. We checked one out. Al said it was rubbish. I said, well, where do you suggest, Al? And he suggested this place. We came, and Sam was genuinely all enthusiasm. So I thought that's what's meant to happen. So that's how it came about, really. Now, Liv suggested it. Liv does most things that we give Al credit for. So, where to start? Well, I thought I'd start with my very, very beautiful bride, Samantha. When I came home last week, and she was in our bay window with a face pack on, and what I can only say is a manky dressing gown, scaring the horses, but she still looked beautiful, and I thought, if that looks beautiful, I can only imagine she's going to do very well on the wedding day. But nevertheless, she did surpass expectations, so I'll keep her. Now, because of what Sam, well, it's early days for this, but I'm going to say it. I always knew it was going to be a successful wedding. I knew it wouldn't have too much to do with me. I thought the first reason, as we all witnessed yesterday, is because the wedding director knows how to crack the whip. For all those that were here yesterday, to be honest, Sam was the most calming influence, but she had quite a long list of jobs, and everybody rallied round, and I couldn't give enough heartfelt appreciation to everyone who contributed there. Now that was one reason, but I think the main reason why I knew it would be successful is because Sam's probably the most friendly and loved person that I'm aware of on this earth. That's how she rewards us. Yeah. But no, we know she's friendly, lovely, gorgeous. So I thought I'd touch on some of the traits that we probably also know she has, but just I thought it'd be interesting and pad out this middle section of the speech. Now, I was thinking about two things that perhaps don't readily spring to mind with Samantha, but that really, for me, stand out. The first one is adaptability. Like, when we met in Suburban Style Bar that magical evening, I didn't know quite what, I just knew she was beautiful, and that was enough for that night, but I needed to know. Nothing happened. I needed to know a little bit more. So we went on the New Zealand test. And to be honest, she excelled. Whether it was her Maori first school, where she had to introduce herself, her home tribe, obviously the Bingley girls. Home river, the River Aire, or the canoe of origin, can't even think of one. Sam actually managed. Or maybe it was that time when we were in the wilderness and I got us lost. No tent, no sleeping bag, on the shingle beach, walking through the river, genuinely dangerous. And no, she was calm. She just turned to me and said, "As long as you know what you're doing, that's fine by me." Blindly trusting. And now she's got the biggest challenge yet. Barnsley's most local area, most traditional neighbours, but she's winning hearts and minds. Like, I see her on the street, she's getting them on our side, and I'm sure soon we're going to be integrated in there in less than the requisite 20 years. Trait number 2, and one that she's even better known for really, common sense. Now, apparently it's not that common, but with Sam, if you can keep her attention long enough, and that is a challenge, if you can explain your predicament, she's bound to come through with a really good, well-reasoned response. And with her common sense and insight, she's in danger of dragging me into maturity. Trevor, I just don't know. I mean, it could happen. So no, I think it's fair to say with Sam, we're really winning. If our future child, and we're talking the next 20 years, has anywhere near Sam's beauty, friendly demeanour, adaptability, common sense, dance moves, then combined with my tree climbing skills, that's going to be quite a package. So where did Sam get this wonderful personality? Well, it's a mystery, isn't it? No, it's evidently from her wonderful mother, Amanda, father Trevor and extended family, who I've come to know from that first meeting in your living room where you were nothing but friendly. So friendly I thought, you don't even know what you're getting into, quite honestly. Yeah, it's not to mention it's a very talented family. Whether it be the decorations by Sarah, the amazing rose arch being the highlight, but basically all the rest. Wonderful cake by Amanda. The service by Uncle Richard, which was awesome, just what I wanted. The handyman talent, which is to downplay it a bit, but Trevor's been behind the scenes in all sorts of different things. And then we're moving out from the family itself to the family and friends, you know, the tea service, which these cups are too beautiful, I'm not sure I want to touch them. In fact, actually, with my record of breakages, I really am not sure. And then the flowers are just amazing. Like, the Parker family have some real talent and some great friends. I mean, there's been lots of other people help out, but it would mess the speech up to mention them here. No, with the money saved, I'm going to be kept in surfboards, fine malts and bat detectors for years. No, so enough to say that the family is amazing, and I just want to touch upon what was a sad event, but really it was something to witness. Obviously the sad passing of Grandad Frank, who, as Trevor mentioned, can't be here tonight. I was there for parts, and to see a family pull together like that and make someone's last day so special was truly a privilege. So, yeah, on to my family. The origin of the dance move, the tree climbing, not the dance moves. So the Bells and the Parkers, I'd like to think we have quite a lot in common, not including myself, but another kind, loving, supportive and open family, always willing to give somebody the time of day and make people welcome. They've been nothing but supportive and given me so many opportunities, my mum and dad, such a great upbringing. You might almost say it was perfect if it wasn't for the vitamin D deficiency. On a serious note though, cheers Mark, my mum loves it when I bring that up, so it's always good to pop it in. On a serious note though, my parents continue to be an inspiration to me. You know, whether it's my mum and the work with the Alzheimer's Society, you know, these sorts of things nobody has to do, but it's just such a nice thing to be able to do. My dad and keeping that choir alive single-handedly, keeping the show going with the youngest member, or, you know, to be honest, growing a successful company and sharing it with the employees, which is, you know, it's a real inspiration. So I do love you both very much. And then not take away from my wider family who've, you know, been such a big part of my upbringing. I'll just single out one person, my granddad Walter. He probably won't be listening. But if I got a love of nature from anywhere, it was probably the walks on the Westwood and further afield. I remember so fondly. My dad's ice climbing and hill walks were more a route march for a 1-year-old. But Grandad's trips were excellent. And also from my granddad, disrespect for private property, fences, and love of trespassing have stood me in good stead in my current occupation. So, thanks to everybody, and yeah, just a toast to you all for being here, I think would be in order. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Hold it there. I'd also like to raise a quick toast to the bridesmaids. Also look fantastic, and I think I happen to know that they've been a great source of support and help to Sam, and they look stunning too. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, quick toast to the bridesmaids. The idea is to get you all a bit pissed at some point. And finally, I would actually like to raise a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Bell Senior, Judith and David. I think you'll all agree that looking at Rob today, they did the best they could with what they had to play with. To David and Judith. Okay, so best man speech. This is a bit of a tough gig, isn't it, really? And it's a tough gig because the girls want to hear about the sweet, sensitive guy under the rough, rugged exterior. The boys, let's face it, just want an opportunity to laugh at Rob. And Mr. and Mrs. Parker want to hear about some sound, solid characteristics, so they can be sure that their beautiful daughter has made the correct choice in life. And Mr. and Mrs. Bell want to sit back and just have everyone marvel at the miracle that they've managed to work. So I first met Rob when we were both at Edinburgh Uni. I had cornrows, and Rob had a pierced eyebrow, which was gangrenous at the time. And it's safe to say that we got on pretty well, as well as looking pretty cool. And the thing is, I didn't actually see that much of
Rob at uni, because if he wasn't hidden away viciously studying, trying to exert his academic prowess on everybody, he'd be in OTC. And if he wasn't in OTC, which is the Officer Training Corps, he'd be talking about OTC. Is OTC this, OTC that for about 4 years? Yeah, it was a bit OTT. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, and yeah, so I didn't see that much of him. But I'm not sure how much of Rob's keenness for the OTC actually had to do with learning military tactics, and how much of it had to do with tapping into a fresh source of fresh year girls every year. But he loved OTC. But it wasn't until after uni really that I got to know Rob really well. And we spent a lot of time together sharing a lot of similar interests, and I would say that the cornerstones of our relationship, or our friendship, I would say... we did share a bed together last night, I just thought the cornerstones of our friendship, I would say, definitely love for wildlife, surfing, and whiskey. And yeah, I think we've spent a long time just together and hanging out. And Rob has some really great qualities which I'd like to touch upon. Over this time, I've learned that Rob is fun to be around. He's a great guy, and he takes an interest in you as a person, and he's intelligent, and he always has interesting things to say. But above all, he's a loyal friend, and he brings out the best in you, and he brings out the best in those around you as well, and around him. So, well done, Rob. Great guy. Rob's extremely competitive as well, and he likes to win. Above all, Rob likes to win. But I think it's safe to say that today, looking at Rob, sitting next to Sam, I think we can all agree that today, Rob, you're a winner. I think, oops, I hate to say this, but actually quite a brave guy. I don't actually know that much stuff that Rob's scared of. But I happen to know that Rob is scared of one thing, or one person. No? The only person that Rob's scared of is his sister Kath. I've heard some epic stories of battles between Rob and Kath, and I think that Kath actually won most of them by the sounds of things. And I think his fear for Kath might explain why when Rob was a little toddler he did a poo on the living room floor as Kath walked in and spread it all over the carpet. And Dave then had to clean it up. I hope your meals are going down well. But he's also actually told me that the other hardest person he knows is Sam. And he would actually quite like to see Kath and Sam spar it off just to see who would win. So I don't know, maybe we could organise this later on today. What do we say, guys? Would we all like to see that? I think, I think we would. But anyway, so we've established Rob's a great guy, but you don't have to take it from me. As the saying goes, a man is defined by the company that he keeps and his friends, and a lot of whom are here today. And I don't know anybody who could get a group of 20-odd ill-equipped friends to climb a mountain in horrendous weather, blizzards, rain, snow, you name it, we had it. And actually, I'd like you, those of you who were there on Rob's 30th birthday, please put your hands up. Only we know the anguish. Only we know the horror, the pain, the pandemonium. I think there was even a divorce at some point somewhere. It was horrendous. But if Rob can get a group of 20 great guys up a mountain to celebrate his birthday, it goes a long way to say what a great guy Rob is.
We were going karting.
And it doesn't stop there, actually. Put your hands up if you turned up to a cold, wet, muddy Welsh field with nothing but a teepee for shelter. These poor lads. What Rob doesn't realise is that through no fault of his own, his friends have to go through hardships to celebrate Rob. But I have to say, put your hands up for those of you who came back for another night of cold, wet TV action and didn't run off to a hotel and stood by. Is that yes? Well done. Who else? Anyone else? Yes, well done. Well done. No, but
You didn't want to know, Chris.
in all sincerity. There's a story behind that, but we won't go into it. In honesty, Rob has a great bunch of childhood friends, which Trevor's already spoken about, and I did send an email around in the hope to get some good stories that I could share with you here today. But most of what came back was about Ross. And I didn't think it would be fair to talk about Ross. Okay. I didn't think it'd be fair to mention an STD clinic in Buckley. Moving on. Sorry, Ross.
Every wedding, mate. Every wedding.
Now that he's married Sam, I think there is only one thing that Rob has to work on, and I'm hoping that Sam will help me with this. Turns out Rob, and you've not helped your gift. Turns out Rob has a penchant for public displays of nudity. Now, I didn't expect to be standing next to Judith for this part, so you might want to cover your ears, Judith. You'll notice that Rob isn't wearing a kilt today. You notice that Rob isn't wearing a kilt today, a kilt that, for example, he wore on my wedding day. Now, on my wedding day, it's safe to say that Rob's manhood made an appearance on more than one occasion. In fact, I think it's safe to say that Rob put on a little show for me and my guests with his kilt. My guests were treated to the Flying Scotsman, the Space Hopper, and my personal favourite, with Rob's manhood tucked between his legs, the "Look at me, I'm a woman!" And for those of you ladies in the audience who are wondering what it is exactly that Sam has signed up for in that department, as a poor young Welsh lass said at 4 o'clock in the morning in McDonald's, serving Rob with nothing on but a pair of little pink gloves, I had to take the opportunity and say, what would you score my friend here out of 10? And she said, at a push, I'd give him 2.5. At a push. So there you go, guys. This happy event marks the end of... laugh it out. This happy event marks the end of Rob's single life. And I remember once when I was at Rob's house and he had a little box full of mementos from when he was at school. He got out this little book. And at the back of this little book was a list of names of girls. And each girl had a little symbol on it, indicating how far he'd got with it. How sad is that? Don't worry, Sam, it wasn't very long. Now, the only name that matters really on that list, though, is the name at the bottom, and that name is Sam Parker.
What symbol?
I remember once Rob told me that because of his past experience, he just thought that, generally speaking, fundamentally, most women are crazy. and he just thought that that's the way it was. But when he started dating Sam, he said that for quite some time he was waiting for that craziness to manifest itself, to rear its ugly head. Until eventually he realised that Sam was just perfect. She was great. And that there just was no craziness. And in, and in Rob's own words, she said, she's just perfect. So I'd just like to say, Rob, that I'm glad that you found your perfect match. And I think she's your perfect match. And I'm just happy that she agreed to marry you. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to wrap up. I've written a poem about my mate Rob. Would you like to hear it? Right. So this poem is called My Mate Rob, and it goes a little something like this. My best mate's a bloke called Rob, who has a very strange job. He's up late at night when bats soon take flight and hurry all out in a mob. For years he roamed this earth, till one day he learned to surf. With his best friend Al and his big mini Mal, they'd spend hours in the sea till it hurt. He and I would talk in a trance about surfing, wildlife and plants. Every weekend for our lives we would fend in the sea getting dragged out to France. One night Rob was out on the town. Like a true bloke, he was prowling around. He was out with his mates, he'd be getting home late. But the girls just kept turning him down. His chances were looking much starker as the night was getting later and darker. But Rob was in luck, he'd be getting a hook through his heart by little Sam Parker. So Sam gave Rob a chance, and now they've found romance. If only they were away when Rob's been drinking all day to stop him from dropping his pants. Now Rob also likes to drink whiskey, but if he drinks too much, it gets risky. Because if he gets into bed and it's gone to his head, apparently he gets a bit frisky. As the years they started to pass, Rob looked more and more like an ass. So one knee he did ask if Sam were up for the task to put up with him forever, alas. Well, emotions I'm not good at showing, and the booze, it must surely start flowing. So if you could all please raise a glass, with finesse and with class, for the final verse of this poem. So I'm happy for you, Rob, my friend. A better match I cannot recommend. Your mates all rejoice, as you've made a great choice. May you live happily ever after the end. Here's to Rob and Sam. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the first dance?
Work it, Rob!
Don't worry about anything. Sing with me, guys. Here we go. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I'm singing, don't worry about anything. Oh. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning and I smiled at the rising sun. And 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep and singing sweet songs, so with melodies pure and sweet. Singing, this is my message to you. I'm singing, don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I'm singing, don't worry about a thing. Oh. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I rose up this morning and I smiled with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep. What were they singing? Singing sweet songs. About what? Singing. This is my message to you. Last time singing, don't worry. Come on, guys, join in with them. Don't even run. About a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I'm singing, don't worry about a thing. Oh. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, yeah. Rob woke up this morning and he smiled with the rising sun. How many birds? Where were they? What were they doing? What about? Robin song?
This is my message to you.
I'm singing, don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I'm singing, don't worry about a thing. Oh, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Last time, guys, sing with me. Come on, don't go me on. Be alright. It's gonna be alright. Round of applause from the side.
Like a sound you hear that lingers in your ear, but you can't forget from sundown to sunset. Nah, nah. It's all in the air, you hear it everywhere. No matter what you do, it's gonna grab a hold on you. California soul. California soul. The sun comes be such a groove now. Puts a brand new kind of thinking in your mind, and you can't go wrong, 'cause you're grooving all day long. California soul, California soul. They have a melody and a beat, y'all, but it didn't seem complete, yes, until they saw two lovers kissing. Oh, sure, they knew just what was missing. So happy when we're rocking
Stick around, there's a great band on for tonight. See you soon. We're going to turn. Now left. Turns. Does he do? Swing the next, ladies and gents. Swing the next. And promenade. Promenade. Face your partner. Way up turn. And again. Towards your partner. Side steps in. Two back. Dance on round. Now promenade. Face your partners. Bounce. And swing. Face your partner. Way up turn. Now left. Two hands. Dirty do. Swing the next lady on your left. Next lady. Nice little swing. And from fish partner. Here we go. Right in. And left. Turn up again. Into middle. And again. Two side steps in. 1, 2, 2 back. Dance on. All the gents. Move on to the next. Move on. Fish your partner. On. And swing. And left. Turns. Does he do? Swing the next. Swing the next. And promenade. Fish your partner. Bounce. And swing. In you go. Into middle. Last off. Down to one. With yards. All with yards. Promenade. Right on turn. Really good news so far.
Keep in the dark to stay out of the light. Keep in the dark to stay out of the light. Keep with wondering eyes, drawn to a beauty left to leer in the